Tobacco use is a global epidemic that will kill over 8 million people each year by 2030. Yet it is also the most preventable cause of death. The vector of this disease is the tobacco industry. The World Health Organization, or the WHO, has described tobacco use as a communicated disease, communicated through marketing. The world galvanized towards a consensus against the tobacco industry, resulting in the WHO Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, or WHO FCTC, being adopted in 2003 that has since led to significant progress in protecting public health through tobacco control measures. If tobacco regulations are in place, why is tobacco use still a problem? How is it that the tobacco industry is still thriving? The answer is in how the tobacco industry uses its huge financial and political power to continue undermining and interfering in policy development. In the 1950s and 1960s, the tobacco industry concealed evidence that cigarettes cause cancer, meanwhile marketing its products as safe, and also suppressed evidence that cigarettes are highly addictive. In the 1970s, in response to growing public alarm on cancer, the industry spent enormous amounts on disinformation campaigns and propaganda to negate and deflect the science that links smoking and cancer, and focus marketing efforts on women, leading to substantial increases in smoking among women and young girls. In the 1980s, the tobacco industry funded research to produce industry-friendly evidence to fight against bans on smoking in public places. To obscure scientific evidence that secondhand smoke is harmful, it recruited third-party scientists to make its claims credible in targeted scientific journals. In the 1990s, amidst growing negative perception of the tobacco industry products, it tried a different tactic, supporting youth smoking prevention programs to drum up a positive view of tobacco companies through corporate social responsibility initiatives and distract policymakers from enacting effective control measures such as tax increases and advertising bans. It continued to deny the addictiveness of nicotine. Tobacco executives even swore under oath that nicotine is not addictive, while also suppressing and concealing evidence to the contrary. However, in 1998, major tobacco companies in the United States of America were made accountable for deceiving the public about the harms from cigarettes and their addictiveness. They agreed to settle a series of class actions on the recovery of healthcare costs, through, among other measures, annual payments in perpetuity, paying $206 billion for the first 25 years, and making their internal industry documents publicly available. This master settlement agreement made the industry rethink its approach. In the 2000s, the tobacco industry appealed to smokers' health concerns by marketing light, mild cigarettes as a safer option, while denying that nicotine levels were manipulated to increase smokers' addiction. It also began to present itself as a partner for governments in the fight against illicit trade in tobacco products. On both counts, the industry was charged with lying about these claims. In 2006, multinational tobacco companies were found guilty of defrauding the public about the safety of products and of marketing to children under the United States Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. They were ordered to stop deceptive marketing efforts that used descriptors like light and low tar that made these cigarettes sound less harmful. The WHO FCTC came into force in 2005 and became one of the most rapidly embraced treaties in the United Nations system. Because of strong government action, countries are starting to see the results with declining tobacco use prevalence, even within developing countries. This has forced the tobacco industry to once again attempt a makeover, transforming into a partner of the government, an ally of the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals, and the leader in promoting a smoke-free world without cigarettes. Despite this public relations strategy, the industry views WHO FCTC measures as extreme and continues to drive and protect cigarette sales at its core business. Without an understanding of past and present interference by the tobacco industry, without an awareness of the industry's claims versus real evidence of its actions, governments remain vulnerable to their tactics and are misled into siding with private gain at the cost of greater public good. It is within this context that issues of transparency, good governance, conflict of interest, and anti-corruption become not only good practice, but life-saving measures. Without a doubt, protecting public health policies from the tobacco industry's commercial and vested interests is urgent and necessary. The implementation of the WHO FCTC, Article 5.3 and its guidelines, is key to safeguarding the health and future of people everywhere.